should really have this conversation with your family if this is something that they can afford to do for you. Like, it's all good and all thinking that you can come here, but it's gonna be so heartbreaking if you've spent 2 or 3 years here and then your parents can't afford you staying the remaining 3 years, for example. That would be really heartbreaking. Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is imjcharles, and in today's video, if you've clicked on it, that means you're coming to study in Czech Republic, maybe, or you're exploring your options. And now I'm just going to be telling you some of the expenses that you should keep in mind before coming here. And I think we can just get right ahead and just start. So I have my laptop here, so I'm going to be looking here. So I'm going to have about 11 areas of expense or categories that we can talk about. First, actually 12. First of all, the fees, the school fees, which is really important. Second, housing, because you need a roof over your head. Third, food, transportation, healthcare, education, clothing, entertainment, personal care, utilities, insurance, and miscellaneous expenses like maybe shopping. So we're going to start with the fees. So in Czech Republic, there are various amounts of medical school. I'm not really sure how many, but I know there's the Charles University, different faculties of medical school. We have the one in Brno, we have Masaryk, which is the one in Brno, we have Palacký, which is in Olomouc, and we have Ostrava University. So out of all of these universities, the minimum fees, like school fees you're going to be paying per year, is 11,500 euros. Oh. That's a hefty amount. And I know that some schools, they allow you to split the payments into 2 semesters. So we do have 2 semesters from September till I think January, and then from February till May or June. So you can either pay half of the fees at the beginning of September and then the second half at the beginning of February. But also you can also ask them every month. So you can also ask them to delay it further if you need to. And I can't tell you for most schools, but the school that I'm at, they let you do this. So it's really flexible, especially because this is a lot of money that you have to cough up. So it's really flexible this way, and especially since we don't have student loans. So we're going to start with housing. This is going to include your rent and your utilities bill, but I guess I kind of put utilities in this, but we'll just do rent and utilities for the house. So for rent, the minimum or the lowest that you can have is maybe 146 euros per month, and this is for a bed in a room of 3 people, not a flat, a bed, as in you'll be sharing with other people, 2 other people in the room. So you come in and you have 3 beds. And I don't know if you guys have watched any of my vlogs, but if you watch my maybe first year vlog, I can't remember, I vlogged a lot, but my first, second-ish year, I used to be in a room of 3, but I rented out 2 of the beds because I initially thought that this was going to be a room of 2. So yeah, if you want to do this, it's going to be 146 minimum. This is for like my city, for example. Minimum is 146 euros per month. This is sharing a room with 2 other people, a kitchen with maybe 2 other people in your room, or maybe 5 other people. So you might have a bed in a room of 3, but in a flat of 5. So this means in one flat there's 2 rooms. One room has 3 beds and the other room has 2 beds. So in one flat there can be 5 people, and in that flat they all share a bathroom and a kitchen. And in the city that I live in, and I've seen this before in like other people's rooms, you have to share a box of a fridge, and it is not really comfortable. So I've seen people buy freezers. So if this is something that you want to think about, maybe you can think about getting that. And if you just want a room in a flat, and so for example, like you can have a 2-person flat, which means that in one room there's one person, so there's one bed, and the other room there's one bed, so in the entire flat there's only 2 people in that room. So for this kind of flat, you can have the cost can be around, I put this in crowns, this is it's kind of choppy, I'll edit it and I'll put the different currencies. That is about between, I remember one of my classmates was paying around I think 5,000 or a little bit less, 5,000 crowns, which can be around £200 per month. So £200 per month to share a kitchen and a bathroom with one other person. This is minimum. Like if in Prague, for example, Prague is really expensive, and I'm not sure how much that will cost, but I'm giving you guys a baseline, so when you do your research, you know kind of what to compare it with and see about all of this. If you want a complete flat to yourself, this is what I had in my 2nd and 3rd year. I had a flat to myself with 2 beds, and I didn't share the kitchen or my bathroom with anyone, and this was 8,500 crowns at the time. This is now increased. This is now increased, I think, to about 9,000 or 9,500 or even 10 if I'm not mistaken. So if you want this kind of situation, you don't have to, this is kind of like a dorm, and you don't have to think about paying your utilities separately. And I know that the apartment building I'm even talking about, they used to have like a cleaner come in and they'll clean your like the shed area, but I was living alone, so it was just like my shed area. This was like the floor in the kitchen and the toilet. That's what they would clean, I think twice in a week, or in a month, sorry. And yeah, now I'm going to talk about flats now. So with flats, I was previously talking about dorms and like what expense you can think about. I should also add, you can also have a room of like I think 6 people as well. This makes the cost cheaper as well. But also I know some dorms, you can share a bathroom with like I don't know how many people, and the washing machine, there's no washing machine inside the flat. So I should have mentioned this as well. This is another cost you have to think about. You have to be paying to wash your clothes, and I think it's similar in the UK. You have to like pay to like put coins in to wash clothes. So that's another expense to think about. Utilities. Okay, now I can talk about actual like flats like the one I have right now. I have not done a tour of this flat, but I think from my vlogs, if you watch my vlogs, you're going to kind of see my flat because it's in my video. So in my flat, I have a 40-meter square flat, which is just the room that I'm in. I have a corridor, I have a kitchen, and I have a bathroom and a toilet. And this flat can run from, let's say, around 9,000 crowns for just the flat. Now you have to pay, if you get a flat, you have to pay for utilities separately. In my accommodation, in my flat, the landlords, I guess, but it's a company, the landlords, they pay for, not exactly pay for, you pay them for the water and I think the heating, but then you have to get your own Wi-Fi, your own electricity, and your own gas. So I have a gas cooker, which I hate, but I have a gas cooker and I have to also get my own I also had to get my electricity. I also had to get my own Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi at a minimum with a company called nej.cz, it is 299 crowns per month. But there's another company called Poda, there's another company, Vodafone, they also do Wi-Fi, so you can also get Wi-Fi with them if that's what you want. But at a minimum, Wi-Fi is like 299 crowns. At a minimum, with the company I'm with, my electricity bill is I think 499 crowns. My gas bill is 299 crowns. And so in total, everything I pay for is just under 13,000 crowns per month. So I'm not giving you exact figures about mine, because I think that for my flat is a little bit like, you can find something that's smaller and also cheaper. You can find, and like for example, this room in my previous accommodation, people easily 5 people could be in here. So this can literally like I feel like I don't want to set my flat as the standard, because it's a little bit above, and I don't want to give the wrong impression about prices. So at a minimum, I think maybe £350 to £350 to maximum maybe £400 for something maybe a little bit smaller. So if you go back to my vlogs and you see like maybe the living in Cheshire vlogs from when just before I moved into this flat, that is like a kind of standard small-ish flat, which is like with a 2 cooker gas top thing, and a small cupboard, and a like a small fridge, and there was no freezer, just a small fridge. So something like that was £300 per month. For something like this, and also it also depends on the location. If you want to be, for example, right now I'm closer to the hospital. If you want to be closer to the hospital, and if the hospital is like central to your city, that's going to be more expensive. So you have to think about these things. For transportation, I should also add that when you come to Czech Republic and when you enroll into your school, every year, especially in my city, I don't know about other people's city, but every year you have to register or re-register your what they call ISIC card, and I don't have my purse on me, but every student in Czech Republic has an ISIC card, and this is a student discount card. You use this card to get discounts on the train. So for example, if you're going from Prague to, I don't know, Berlin, it might be, let's say, 500 crowns cheaper than it would be for an adult without an ISIC card. If you're going from, let's say, even within cities like Prague to Brno, it's going to be so much cheaper than it would be if you didn't have the discount card. Let's put it that way. So yeah, so for transportation, like trams, buses, from my city, you pay 1,200 crowns, and this is, I think, roughly about 45 to 50 pounds for the entire year. For the entire year. In the UK, that's like per week. That's per week. But yeah, for the entire year, it's like 40 to 50 pounds for the entire year. Groceries and pocket money. In my first year, my parents would give me, they kind of still do, my parents would give me £200 for the month, and this is for my what's it called, this is for my groceries. So every week is like 25-30 pounds. You can definitely do less and you can definitely do more. So every week is like 25-30 pounds, and you like times that by 4, that's 120, and then I got an extra like 60 pounds per month, and that can also pay for phone bill if you have a phone bill to pay for. That can pay for like you going out to eat with your friends. That can pay for bowling. And for example, for going out to eat, you can expect to spend like a minimum of 400 crowns, or max, like, or let's say for like a dinner. For dinner, you can expect to spend like 650 crowns. Now, I don't want you to think that this is the standard. I just want you to think like this is the standard plus 15%. Like, because I don't want to give a wrong idea of expenses, because I am really bad with my money, especially because I'm working, and I also, like, my parents pay for my living expense, and then any money that I earn, I use it to play basically. So I don't want to give like the wrong impression about how much things cost. Like, you can definitely have things that are cheaper. In an apartment, you can have cheaper groceries per week. You can have things that are cheaper, is what I'm trying to say. Like, these expenses that I'm giving are like a base plus 15%. That's what I want to say. I also want to add that in different cities, this is not going to be a base plus 15% situation. It's like, for example, I have a friend that lives in Olomouc that does not pay, like in Prague, that does not pay anywhere near 10,000 crowns per month for rent, but she doesn't live near, like, in the central area. I also know someone that lives in Brno, and I think he paid, I don't know how much he pays now, but he paid up most of maybe like almost 18,000 crowns per month, and this was for a studio. So I want you to do your research, but I just want you to have an idea. This is not to give you like the blueprint. I think I've reiterated this fact, like this statement, a couple of times throughout the video, but this is not a blueprint. This is not exactly how much you're going to pay. This is just like, I want you to use this as like a moldable format for what you're going to, for like your expense budget. So like if you get I don't know if how much your parents will give you or how much you're going to budget for this, budget within this range. So just something like, for example, if your rent is £300, I'm not saying that you should have exactly £300. I'm saying have between 300 and 350. If your rent is 100 and like, so if your groceries and everything is like £200, don't have exactly £200, 200 to 250. So this is just a moldable format. I don't want this to be like exactly set in stone. Please don't take it as that. And like even someone in my city that lives in like the center, he pays like, I think almost 17 or 18,000 Czech crowns, which is a lot for us, and this is also a studio, and this is a lot even for the people that do like are in my class as well. Like he pays a lot compared to everyone else, I think. So you have to think about your budget and your pockets and just work according to that. So for example, going out to eat, maybe it's a friend's birthday, let's say dinner, a drink and dessert, that's like maybe 600 to 700 crowns, that's like £30. Or you can just have dinner and a drink, and that's maximum even 450 crowns depending on the place you go to. If you want to go bowling, it's like 130 crowns ish. Cinema tickets, you can get a discount with your ISIC card. Make sure you always, if you get an ISIC card, get the app, and if you forget your card, you have the app, but always take that card with you. And also it's also a form of identification. So if you buy a train ticket with an ISIC card, that gives you discounts on the train, they'll ask you for your ISIC card because it's a form of identification. If you're someone that goes to gym, I think the lowest gym membership I've heard of in my city is like 799 crowns. I don't know if you can do cheaper than that, but in most places it's about 1,080. So 1,080 is like £40 per month, and this is very expensive compared to the UK, because I know UK gyms can go as low as like 15, like for example Plus Gym. Is it Plus? I forgot the name of Pure Gym, not Plus Gym. Pure Gym, they can go as low as £15 per month, or £20 per month, but here in most places it's 1080. So yeah, especially if you go to the big name or the chain gyms here, it's like this amount. Okay, I wanted to talk about rent, like apartments again. So for places to look for apartments, the website S Reality is a good place to start. There are many different brokers around, and you can also use Facebook Marketplace, which is very unusual, but sometimes they're like, you can use them, but also be very careful because of scammers. So you can use Facebook Marketplace to look for apartments. You can use S Reality. You can use sreality.cz. I have so many of the mails that I've unsubscribed from, I think, because I was looking for a flat a couple of weeks ago, like months ago, because my rent went up and I was thinking about moving places, but it turns out the rent went up everywhere, so moving would have cost more than actually than staying, and so it doesn't make sense to move. There's another one. There's a place called Actually, you know what, let's do this. I'll put all the links in the description, so if there's anything that I've said that you want to look for, it will be in the description. Flats, it will be in the description. Places to get your energy, I'm just gonna put the energy places. I'll just put the ones that I know of, and then you can search with the information for more information. What else do I have to say? Okay, so for food, I've talked about groceries. In, I think in my first year, I think I used to shop at Albert, and sometimes now I go, sometimes like places I go for shopping, Kaufland, Albert, Tesco, Globus, but not all the time. Lidl, they have Lidl here, so you can go to Lidl, and like Lidl is like I think about the same level as UK, so if you want to go and get things on discount, Lidl. And also in Kaufland or Albert, you can also check if they have things on discount. They also have a Tesco here. They also have club cards with the Tesco here, so get a Tesco club card. It's going to help with the discounts and things, so that can make your shopping cheaper per week, definitely. And I've talked about transportation, 1,200 crowns, like 40-50 pounds per year. And also for transportation, maybe taxis, if you're interested, or if you do take taxis, I think a taxi can run you up to like between about £4 and £5 for a 6 minutes 3-kilometer journey. So it depends on what you need it for. Like, are you coming back like late at night, especially for women? If you're coming back late at night from like the airport or something, and especially my first 2 years, my parents were really worried about me like being outside at night, so I wouldn't really like be out. You would not catch me outside at night like often, so except I'm like in a big group. So if you want to take a taxi, it's like £4 to £5 for a 6-minute journey, which is like 3 kilometers. What else? So healthcare, if you, oh shoot, we've left the EU. I'm sorry. So if you were still in the EU, you would have had a I don't know if they still do this now, a e-HIT card, which is a European health insurance card, and this card allows you to get free healthcare. But I don't know if we're still entitled to that. You have to check for this information because I'm not sure. But as about 2019, I had an e-HIT card, and all I have to do is every 3 months, which is a chore, and I still actually have to do that now. I have to think about getting it redone. Every 3 months, I go to this insurance company, and I have to show them my e-HIT card, my passport, I think, and then they give me a 3-month health insurance. So if anything happens in that 3 months, I can go to the hospital, get free treatment. But I've also been able to go to the hospital without this health insurance thing from the company, and I just show them my e-HIT card, and it's always fine. But sometimes, especially if you're not from the UK, maybe if you're from, for example, India, Pakistan, I don't know which other countries, like Israel, like any other countries that's not in like Europe, or yeah, I think Europe. So if you're American and from any other country, you have to have a health insurance, and also I think you also need this for your visa purposes. So you have to have health insurance, and you have to pay for this health insurance either per month or upfront. I'm not sure how much the cost is. For education, this would be, for example, for your website. So for example, if you're a visual learner and you want to use like KenHub you have to pay for per month, or you can pay for I think a full year. If you want to use Osmosis, you have to pay for per month. No, like I think every 3 months, every 6 months, and every year. So you have to budget this in. If you want to pay for Lecturio, the same thing goes, like every 3 months, etc. So this has to be budgeted in. And for clothing, but a big tip would be for students. I think if you're a student, I don't really know of any students that buy things first, like with the big, like the when the prices are not, when nothing's on sale. I know most students like myself, we buy things on sale, so every time just keep looking out, like going to H&M, Zara and all of these places for things that are on sale, and hopefully you catch something on sale. The main shops I like to go for clothes when they're on sale is H&M, Tesco do like nice sales, especially if you have their club card. Yeah, these shops are good, and like ASOS, but nothing is really stopping you from having the same clothes that you had. But I think maybe after a couple of years, if you want to change up your style, as I'm kind of like I'm kind of like transitioning right now, so if you're in that time of wanting to change up your style, just keep looking out for places like that and you'll find something, definitely. For entertainment is like movies, dining out, concerts. I've already talked about movies and dining out. I'm not going to say anything about concerts because that's not really I don't really do that. So yeah. And then for personal care, this includes like haircuts, beauty products and toiletries. For haircuts for men, this is gonna be hard, and I don't really know how to help you for this one, I'm sorry. So for beauty products for women, again, catch things on sale. They have good drugstores here. They have D&M, Rossmann, Sephora. Actually, they have Sephora, and you can also catch things on sale here. So it depends on the things that you want. Just keep a lookout on stuff. And also there's a shop called Notino. They have like a physical shop, and they have an online store. They have really good sales. So yeah, the mistake I used to make was buying my skincare products from a pharmacy. Don't do that. Go to Notino. They have good sales there. And yeah, I also talked about utilities like phone bill and streaming services. So the phone bill, like for I used to have a Czech SIM card. I used to have a Czech SIM card, and that used to be $6.99 per month. And if you have an iSIM card, this will be how much it is, and it's unlimited data. I think unlimited text messages, unlimited calls. So $6.99 per month is how much that was. So if you need that, I think that's a good go-to, and a good price for a phone, especially because that's just a SIM card. It's not like if you already have a phone that you bought already, you don't need to pay for the phone. You just have to pay for a SIM card. Yes, and miscellaneous expenses such as travel and maybe like home repairs, or like mainly travel, because I don't really know, like I don't think that we really need to do home repairs that much, except if you live in a flat. Like for example, my toilet light broke, and I thought that my landlord would do it for me, but I got a bill. I got a bill and I was pissed off, and I was like, I didn't break it. And the thing is, I'm kind of on a tangent right now, but it wasn't broken. The switch was just like in the middle, like, you know, so you know when you play around with switches and you kind of like, you don't put it all the way off or all the way on. It just needed a little push, and I was pushing and nothing was happening. So I called them and they brought a handyman, and then I had to pay. So yeah, I don't know, I think that's kind of like a stupid expense. So it was just annoying. Again, like I said, like my parents pay for my living expenses, so my rent, and they give me money for my like utilities and everything. My parents pay for my rent, and they give me money for food. But because of my rent and all of my bills is just about how much my parents give me. So because of my work, thank you God, please, I hope nothing happens to this job, but with my job, I'm able to substitute the remaining money that I need per month. So like going out to eat with my friends, getting groceries, if there's a bill like that stupid bill that I got, I can pay it myself. And yes, this has been long. I think we'll recap what we've done. So fees, 11,500 euros minimum. living expenses, flats and and like utilities and everything, I think at a minimum you should have 450 euros to 500 euros per month. This is at a minimum. This will cover your flat, your utilities, your phone bill, transportation, and like anything that you like doing, like the gym or anything. I think at a minimum 450 euros to 500 euros. This is not the base plus 50%. I think this is a minimum, like especially if you want to not have to think about anything else. But I know that some people, this is not going to be like convenient at all. So I think that, I know some people have, like, I don't know how much this is in euros, but I know some people pay £400 for their rent and then they can live on £150 per month. But I know other people are not like that. So this will have to depend on what you want. So I think maybe after your flat expenses and everything, I think minimum, so when you should budget for like about 180 to 200 pounds plus. I think you should add more, but minimum maybe 180 pounds to, okay, let me change that to 180 pounds to about 250 pounds per month extra. Especially if you're someone who goes to gym, you pay for like Netflix or Spotify, any of those music things, like you go out a lot with your friends. These are things you have to think about. And I think that your parents are not going to if your parents can help you, that's fantastic, but you have to find something as soon as you come. I think in the last, how many years I've been here, 4 years, I have had different jobs. I have worked as the, you know, the people that will call you up as COVID people. I was one of those people. I've written like articles for a company. I am teaching English. I never thought I was gonna do, but I never thought I was gonna do English teaching, but here I am. I have worked as a care assistant. I think for me, the most convenient jobs for me, especially as a student, are online jobs. So look on Indeed, look on LinkedIn, look on everywhere and try and find something that will help you substitute like whatever money your parents can't give you, or maybe they've given you all they can afford to give you, and whatever extra money you need, this is what you need to like add. And then for personal care, again, I forgot to add, if you're a girl that likes getting her lashes and like nails done and all of that, lashes are like 1,000 plus crowns, so it's like 30 to 45 pounds per lash, and then every 3 weeks, sorry, for your first time, and then every 3 weeks is cheaper. And then if you're a nail girly, I think my city anyway, it's about 300, no, oh my god, for my city anyway, it's about 500 crowns to 650 crowns per time you go. So yeah, these are the expenses. I hope I can reorder this somehow for it to make sense, and I really hope that I've helped you to maybe come to a conclusion about if coming to study in Europe is a good idea for you, or if, and also if you do come, really think about your expenses. Like, you have to really think about if this is something that you can do. And I think, and also you should really have this conversation with your family if this is something that they can afford to do for you. Like, it's all good and all thinking that you can come here, but it's gonna be so heartbreaking if you've spent 2 or 3 years here and then your parents can't afford you staying the remaining 3 years, for example. That would be really heartbreaking. I think, I'm not sure about this information, because just from what I've heard, if you fail a couple of subjects and you have to retake those subjects, therefore push your study further, that's going to cost you more. So you have to think about all of these little information. And I don't know many people at different universities, but I can try and get information. That if you have any questions, please put it in the chat in the description, put it in the chat below, and email me. What else? Yeah, if there's anything else that you can think of to ask that I haven't thought of yet, just tell me in the description in the chat, and I'll find more information and maybe make another video or something like that. So yes, this is the information that I have. My voice is gone. I am tired. I am depleted. So I will drink my water and I will go and have a rest, because I'm kind of tired. It's really hot today and my mouth is dry. So yeah. So yes, I will talk to you guys when I talk to you guys, and yes, please catch up on some of my content. And also I want to say thank you to the people that are new here. I'm so grateful that people have like subscribed. Like literally I didn't stop, but I was busy with school, and it just gets a lot, especially because I was working and studying and going to school. It was just a lot, and also with seasonal depression, it's just a lot. Like sometimes it just gets a lot that I don't have the extra energy for hobbies, because medical school is a lot, and then if you work on top of that, it is a lot. And so yes, I just want to say thank you so much for people that have subscribed. I really do hope that at least once a month I put maybe 2 or 3 videos out, and I hope that it's like something that you enjoy. I really enjoy filming. It's also the simplest thing for me to film. I really enjoy filming and also watching day in the lives or vlogs like this, so that's why I put these videos out. But I also noticed, like, I think the most popular videos on my channel are the ones about people helping people about coming to Czech Republic. I didn't have this information like before I came to the university I am at, and before like I came here, like for 2 or 3 weeks I was living on my street. Like the accommodation I was going to stay at, I was living there. Like you have to look, I'm sorry, as someone that's going to a whole new country, you have to think about these things, and so oftentimes there are not people that are like putting information like this. So I will do anything that will help you. So because when I was coming here, there was barely no one talking about studying in Czech Republic and showing their life in Czech Republic. So yes, this is what I want to say. And yeah, my voice is gone, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really hope that I helped you. I hope that you also made some notes, and also the things I mentioned here, I'll put them in the description with the links. And yes, you can follow me on Instagram or at TikTok at imjcharles, and I have been your host today. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. Right now.